In late November, commercial flights across the Middle East and India were grounded, leaving thousands of passengers stranded in terminals like this one in Delhi. The disruption was caused by volcanic ash. While the word ash implies the soft, powdery residue left after a campfire, volcanic ash is a highly abrasive mixture of pulverized rock, heavy crystals, and microscopic shards of glass. If an aircraft flies through this cloud, those jagged particles act like high-speed sandpaper against the cockpit windows, blinding the pilots. If the glass and rock are sucked into the turbines, the intense heat melts them into a solid mass that can choke and shut down a jet engine mid-flight. The chaos inside those airspace corridors was an airborne warning sign of a massive geological event unfolding thousands of miles away. This satellite image tracks that dense, 50,000-foot-high cloud of volcanic ash. Following its path backward from the Arabian Peninsula, it stretches all the way to its origin point in Ethiopia. That origin point is the Haile Goubi volcano. For approximately 12,000 years, essentially the entirety of recorded human civilization, this particular volcano has sat completely dormant. Then it detonated. The eruption was so violent that locals kilometers away reported it sounding like a bomb blast, and the massive explosion sent seismic shockwaves rippling across the border into neighboring Djibouti. A volcano resting quietly for 12 millennia does not wake up without a physical trigger. To find the source of the blast, we have to look closely at the ground beneath it. The area surrounding the volcano is known as the Danakil Depression. It sits below sea level and ranks as one of the hottest places on Earth, with temperatures regularly pushing past 50 degrees Celsius. The region receives almost zero rainfall. Instead, the surface is shaped by intense hydrothermal activity, creating acidic pools that glow in neon hues of green and yellow due to active chemical reactions. The extreme surface conditions here follow the shifting architecture of the Earth's crust right below. This map highlights a geological hotspot in the Horn of Africa known as the Afar Rift, the exact location of Haile Goubi. Geologists classify this specific spot as a triple junction. It is the exact meeting point of three tectonic plates, the Nubian, the Somali, and the Arabian. These plates are actively pulling apart. The land masses are retreating from one another at a rate of roughly 2 to 5 centimeters per year, about the same speed that your fingernails grow. Zooming out, we can see the true scale of this tension. The East African Rift is a 6,000-kilometer fault line slicing fault away from the Red Sea, down through Kenya, Tanzania, and into Mozambique. While a few centimeters a year is incredibly slow on a human timescale, the rock bridging these plates does not stretch gracefully. It builds up immense tension for thousands of years, and then it snaps. In 2005, the Ethiopian desert provided visceral proof of this pressure. Over the span of just 10 days, the ground ripped open, creating a massive fissure measuring 60 kilometers long. The sudden detonation of Haile Goubi and these giant desert cracks are the mechanical reality of a continent stretching past its structural breaking point. The eruption of Haile Goubi is the audible sound of the African continent breaking in two. This animated map illustrates what is happening right now. Just as the ancient supercontinent Pangaea fractured millions of years ago, the African tectonic plate is currently tearing itself into two distinct landmasses, the Nubian plate and the Somali plate. The continent has been unzipping for millions of years, leaving massive geological byproducts in its wake. The iconic peak of Mount Kilimanjaro is a volcano born directly from this rifting process. The deep bodies of water lining the eastern side of the continent, like Lake Malawi and Lake Victoria, mark where water is pooling into the vast valleys created as the landmass pulls apart. Fast forward 5 to 10 million years, this 6,000-kilometer valley will drop below sea level. Water from the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden will rush in, flooding the rift completely, creating a new ocean that permanently severs East Africa from the continent. The grounded flights in Delhi and the sudden volcanic explosions in the Ethiopian desert are the chaotic, human-scale growing pains of the Earth actively redrawing its own map.